Okay, we're trying again. Here we are, take 3. Can you hear me now? I feel like that Verizon commercial. I'm going to type into the chat. Can you hear me? Take 3. If y'all could be so kind as to post into the chat if you can hear me. Do a little mic check here. Some audio issues on this fine Wednesday. I think we should be good now. I switched over to my earbuds, so I'm thinking that should work. You could drop into the comments and let me know, can you hear me now? Testing. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up the live on the computer and on my mobile device. It looks like, turn up your device volume. Yeah, looks like you guys can hear me now. Wouldn't that be great if it worked? I think it is working. Yes, Annie. Thank you, Annie. My significant other is about to strangle me. I called him in here 3 times. The audio is not working. Thank you, Annie. Hey, Erica. What's going on, lady? All right, nice to know something's working this morning. Well, let's dive on and give me a hashtag live if you're here live. Give me a hashtag replay if you are catching the replay. I want to dive right in on today's topic. It's an important topic. This is the kind of topic you're going to be taking with you for the rest of your building your coaching business journey. So I do advise you to lean in, listen up, ask questions. I'm here live, trying to be live. Now that I got the audio to work. So let's hit the ground running. I'm just going to make sure in the chat that Heather Copey is back with us and knows that we are now live, which is good, and that you guys can hear me. All right, so I got everyone tagged, and Heather Copey, hopefully you are with us. All right, guys, drop into the chat. I would love to hear what's a fun question we could do for today. It's November. We're about halfway through November. Drop into the chat. What is one thing you'd like to get done in your coaching business by the end of November? Drop that into the chat. What is one thing you want to get done in your coaching business by the end of November? For those of us in the US, we have Thanksgiving coming up. I think it's the last week of November. But what do you want to get done in your coaching business by the end of November? Based on what you say, if you're a client, because I see a couple clients of mine popping in, that will just help me to help you. So for my clients, you guys know we'll just direct you to the right training in the On-Demand Learning Center, and we'll hot seat you on those questions in the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy. If you're not a client of mine, I absolutely recommend that you drop into the chat. What is one thing you would like to accomplish in your business by the end of November? Because either A, we have it in our vault. So just so you know, we've got a vault of over 100 free trainings that Heather Copey has access to. And she will, based on what you say, hey, I need help with this, she'll go find that training in our free training vault and get that training to you. Also, if we haven't done that training yet, we love collecting your ideas for upcoming Facebook Live topics. So please think about it. Don't think about it too hard. The first thing that comes to your mind, what would feel really good if you accomplished it by the end of November in your coaching business? Okay, so Heather Copey's back. Get 3 more clients, Annie. I love it. So we've definitely got some trainings on that. Annie, if you could send Heather Copey, who's right underneath you, a DM. Heather can find some training for you on getting clients and things of that nature. Absolutely. And then Heather, I went ahead and tagged everyone, so we should be good to go. All right, let's jump into today's topic. Really important topic. I am here live, which is, you know, why the audio issues. We're live, people. But I do like to come on here live versus just kicking out a replay, because I want to answer your questions. So if you have questions on this topic or anything related to building your coaching business, now is the time. now is the time for you to ask. So by all means, drop your questions, your comments, etc., into the chat. Let's see here. I'm just playing with the Facebook Chrome comments to see. It's so funny. I can see the comments on my mobile device so much better than on my phone or on my computer. All right, let's get going. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Betty Kempa, business coach for coaches, member of the Forbes Coaches Council for about 3 years or something along that nature. I am an IPEC graduate. If we have any IPECians in the house, anybody that was trained at IPEC coaching, drop into the chat. I always like to see who's with us from IPEC. Ranked one of the top coaches in Denver and then again in Tampa by Influence Digest. I'm the founder of the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, where we help corporate renegades ditch the 9-to-5 and replace their six-figure corporate income by repackaging their genius into a dream coaching business. Our speciality here, right? Most of our clients are super busy. They're working full-time jobs. They've got a lot going on, right? So we teach our clients how to sell 1 to 2 coaching packages per month to hit their financial target of replacing their corporate income versus burning out selling lower ticket or digital courses, right? So we have a method and there is an order of events as far as like there's so many things you could sell. So we have a method on what to sell first to make it easier on yourself. We also teach you how to do this organically. So we do not recommend, quite frankly, throwing away money on Facebook ads at this point in the game. If you haven't reached 100K yet per year, if you haven't maybe even reached 200K yet per year, it's not time for Facebook ads yet. So we're going to teach you how to hit your financial goals organically and without using or feeling like you have to use these complicated funnels. You don't need to use complicated funnels in order to attract the right client. Now, as always, before we get going, if you'd like additional coaching support with your business, check out, there's a link in the copy of this post where you can apply for a discovery call. And Heather, if you could be so kind is to drop the link in once more for my party people on how they can apply for a discovery call. So Heather, if you could drop in the link for people to apply for the discovery call so that they have it. What's the idea of the discovery call? So this is a call with us so we can learn more about you, right? It's one thing for us to see your name, and our Facebook group is another to actually face-to-face learn about you, learn about your business challenges, and more importantly, your business goals, right? That would be your chance to ask us any questions. And ultimately, we would be identifying, are you a fit for one of our coaching programs? And for the first time ever this year, we have added on coaching programs. Our flagship program is the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy. And we've now added on additional coaching programs based on where you are in your journey and what is the best fit for you. So if you want to know, okay, you know, I would like some support, some business support, the best thing to do is to book a discovery call. 1, so that you can ask us questions, and 2, so we can review with you what your options would be. And based on what you share with us, we're happy to make a recommendation. You will leave the discovery call with 3 things. 1, a deeper understanding of what the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy entails and what our list of program entails, right? We have a new program that we rolled out this year. 2, we'll do a deep dive to uncover why you haven't achieved your goals yet. So, you know, all of us have business goals. I have business goals. You have business goals. It's just, we have different business goals. So on that call, we're going to do a deep dive to understand why haven't you achieved your goal yet? So you're going to leave with that nugget of information. And last but not least, we're going to walk you through the steps to take to achieve those business goals. Okay. So that's a quick reminder there. And Heather went ahead and dropped the link in the chat for y'all to book your discovery call. It's an exploratory call. Before we get on to today's topic, 2 quick but important announcements to share. 1, We are in the midst of creating a very special, again, first time ever. This has been a year of many firsts for our business, which has been a lot of fun. A special Green Friday offer. So this is a special Green Friday offer, and we've never done this offer before, so it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be on a new coaching package that we have. There's going to be new pricing that aligns with Green Friday type of pricing, if you get what I mean. Wink, wink. What else do I want to say? So do comment in the chat, Green Friday. Comment in the chat, Green Friday, if you want us to put you on the waiting list to receive the Green Friday offer details once they are ready. So like I said, we're pulling that together now. Heather Copey will be gathering up a list of names of people that want to, at minimum, just receive the packet, the details, to review what the offer is, because there will be obviously an end date. You'll only be able to get the offer up until a certain date. So if you want to be on that list to receive the offer details once they are ready, and again, probably what we'll do is just Heather will DM them to you. It won't be anything wild. You don't have to worry about, us blowing up your email or anything. Just put Green Friday in the chat and Heather will put your name on a list. Annie, yep, for sure, Annie, will get you the Green Friday details. So Heather will put your name on a list. Also, if you are watching the replay, because I know I probably lost about maybe 3/4 of you trying to go live 3 different times with no audio. So if you're watching the replay, same thing, put Green Friday in the chat, but tag Heather Copey, so that she sees your post. The other good thing to do as well, just as a reminder for you guys, Heather is like the czar of this Facebook group, okay, of the Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group. She is here to answer all your questions, get you everything you need. Oftentimes, she is reaching out to you via DM to give you information. So like, I'm just using Annie as an example. Once she has that information, she'll get it to you. I do advise you guys to, check your DMs. And if you want to make sure that what Heather sends you is visible, because sometimes she'll send it to you. It'll go, if you're not friends with her on Facebook, it'll go to your spam. I would either, at minimum, I would just send Heather a message. You could just send her an emoji or send her Green Friday via DM, so that when she sends it back to you, it won't go in your spam box. Okay, so just a little reminder there. Also, if you are a member, which you are, because right now I'm, in the Facebook group with this video. If you're a member of our Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group, one of the perks of being a member of the group is you do get to schedule a 20-minute connect call with our group expert, Heather Copey, okay? The purpose of the connect call, this is different than a discovery call. They're 2 different things, right? The connect call, the purpose of the connect call is Heather will get to know you, your coaching business goals and challenges. You'll ask Heather any questions you have around building your business using the free Facebook group. But the most important thing about the connect call is Heather's going to go through that vault of over 100 free videos and cherry pick the ones that are customized to you based on what you tell her over the phone. Hey, here's what I need help with. Okay, so that's a perk of this group. You're not going to get in a lot of Facebook groups. If you are looking for help on a topic we haven't covered yet, even more cool, Heather will pass that topic to me and we will potentially use your topic on an upcoming training call. So my Facebook live calls, I'll do, topic requests. I love doing topic requests. So let's say, Annie, I'm just using you as an example. You come up with a topic, we haven't done it yet. We, would potentially do it, and then Heather would send it to you once we did. The connect call is not a sales call. There's nothing to do with selling on a connect call. This is a complimentary introductory call to welcome you to our Facebook group and to customize the experience for you. This is a perk of being in this group, okay? So Heather, if you could be so kind as to drop the link for the 20-minute connect call with you into the chat, so everybody has that link as well. Heather will drop that link into the chat. All right, so let's get into it. Today's topic, when is the best time to hire a business coach? When is the best time to hire a business coach? And I know this is something I've gone through as well in my journey of building my coaching business, right? It's always, it's like on the one hand, it's like, oh, is there this perfect time? And then you start to realize there's never gonna be a perfect time. But on the other hand, you can be strategic about it. So I want to talk today about, from a strategic standpoint, when is the best time to hire a business coach? But I also want to talk about how do you audit your business coach or your potential business coach to see if they are the right business coach for you? How do you audit your business coach? So I want to talk about that as I am going through today's training. By all means, drop your questions into the chat. You'll see me looking up and down at my phone here to make sure I get everybody's questions here. Okay, so let's hop to it. And Heather, I don't know if you saw any of the Facebook group members that maybe were on the first two calls that don't see that I went live again. If I know I tagged at everyone, but that doesn't always pick up on everyone. So if there's anyone other names that you saw, feel free to tag them so that they know I'm back live as well. All right, so before I get into it, I do want to say on this training topic, let's just stop for a minute and talk about, get down to basics here, the purpose of a business coach. So let's be very clear on the purpose of a business coach, okay? Now, the idea of hiring a business coach, and if you think about when you're working on building your business without a coach, without a business coach, what happens? What happens when you're working on building your business without a business coach? And feel free to share if you're here with us live or if you're watching the replay. When you try to build your business without any support, when it's you in a bubble, what tends to happen? Feel free to drop in the chat because I'm about to kind of roll off a couple things that I hear all the time, and I'm not immune to this, right? I myself always have a coach. I'm never without a coach. Coaches need coaches, right? I prioritize my coaching business. This is what I do. So of course I'm going to walk the talk and have a business coach. So what happens when you don't have a business coach and you're trying to do this thing on your own? All right, Annie says, rinse and repeat mistakes. Absolutely. Rinse and repeat mistakes because we don't know what we don't know, right? So to Annie's point, we don't know what we don't know. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? Does this stick? Does this stick? Does this stick? Right? It's starting from scratch. So that's a perfect answer, Annie. And, to kind of build on that, I tend to see things like shiny object syndrome, right? Anybody experience shiny object syndrome watching live or the replay? Drop into the chat, shiny object syndrome, right? And we're coaches, we're curious, right? We like to kind of like, oh, look at that squirrel, look at that, right? So without a business coach who's kind of got the blinders, the horse blinders, like, okay, stay focused, stay accountable, stay motivated, keep going in this direction. It's very easy to have 20 projects on your plate and be doing a bunch of things mediocre instead of a couple things great. And that's going to hurt your business. So shiny object syndrome will occur without a business coach. Number two, if you're not working with a business coach, you're going to start to ask yourself questions like, am I doing the right stuff to reach my business or financial goals, right? There's so many things that we could potentially be doing in our business. There's so many things. It's a blessing and a curse, right? There's so many ways to attract clients. We start to wonder, well, am I doing the most efficient or effective strategy to hit my business or financial goals? Am I doing it with the right timing? What's the ROI, the return on investment I'm going to get on what I'm working on, right? Again, this is throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping and praying that, I don't know, I hope this strategy works, which again, to Anne's point, right, we're rinsing and repeating mistakes. And this is wasting time and money. The longer we take to figure stuff out, the longer we take to team up with a mentor who's been there, done that. Every month that goes by, we're wasting more time and money. What else happens when you're not working with a business coach? You start to wonder, you sit down at your chair and you're like, okay, I'm gonna work on my coaching business today. And what do you ask yourself? You ask yourself, and by the way, I've gone through this too. This is why I always have. I've had a multitude of business coaches. You ask yourself, well, what should I prioritize today? Right? That's a hard one because we all have these long to-dos when it comes to building a business, and that to-do list is probably never going to get all the way done. So then the question becomes, what should I prioritize? What should I prioritize? That's where a business coach comes in. One of the best hot seat questions I answer for my clients, they'll come to a call, they'll think, oh, I don't have a hot seat question today. And then I dig a little bit and then I'll uncover, well, wait, the hot seat question is, what do I prioritize today? Right? And then as a business coach, my job is to align what you do with the goals you're trying to achieve. That's my job, right? And last but not least, without a business coach, right, you're left wondering, what's the formula? What's the system to hit my financial goals, right? Because this shouldn't be just, hey, let me try this, let me try that. It should be a formula. It should be a system, right? This should be something that's tried, true, and tested. So bottom line, business coach is meant to support your business goals and will provide you with a blueprint to success. A blueprint, a roadmap to success. Success being whatever that looks like to you, right? It's going to be customized to you based on what your goals are. You'll gain tactics, skills, and insight that you need to achieve your business and financial goals, okay? On the topic of what will a business coach help me do, I did read a great article in Entrepreneur magazine, and I'll just real high level go over it because I think some of this is important for y'all to write down. And they talk about 9 main reasons that you would want to work with a business coach. So I want you to write these down and I want you to think to yourself, is this something that I'd like help with, right? So number 1 is attainable goals. Attainable goals, write that down, Attainable, not just a goal that's a pie in the sky. Please don't sign on with coaches that are, hey, take this blue pill and you'll have everything you've ever dreamed, right? They help you achieve and create attainable goals, okay? They'll help you visualize your goals. They'll help you reach your goals. They'll be working with you hand in hand, step by step to define, right? It's important you get definition and clarity on what you want with your coaching business and how to achieve it, okay? Your business coach will not only make sure your goals are smart, okay, so we're looking at SMART goals, realistic goals, but they will also come up with a goal setting plan to help you achieve them. Okay, in my program in the academy, we have something called a 30-day success blueprint that our success coaches use with our clients. So that instead of, our clients kind of just like wading in the waters of building the business, they are on point every 30 days. They know what their goals are, and their success coach is keeping them accountable to achieving those goals. So really, really important. Whether it's evaluating your schedule, prioritizing your tasks, or helping you manage your time more efficiently, your business coach will work with you to make sure you get more of your goals accomplished in business, okay? And in life, right? We're coaching the whole person here. So oftentimes, sure, I have a signature method that I use to help my clients repackage their genius into a 6-figure coaching business. I have a system, but oftentimes, right, I'm sitting down with clients and And yeah, we're looking at their schedule, right? Because they're working or they have family or it's the holidays or whatever. So we're fitting things into their schedule. I'm helping them prioritize their tasks. I'm helping them manage their time efficiently, right? Really important. So write down attainable goals, right? Because there's a sweet spot with goals, right? We learn that as coaches. There's a stretch goal, and that's great. There's what's the minimum you can do. And then your business coach is going to help you kind of round that out with the sweet spot of an attainable goal that you can hit time after time. And then we keep edging it up. Okay. If you have questions, drop them into the chat. If you see me looking down, I'm looking down, making sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay. Let's see. Let's get into organization. Okay. So write this down. What does a business coach help you do? Organization. We know as a business owner, right, it's easy to get overwhelmed by day-to-day tasks, right? It's easy to get overwhelmed. Sticky notes and listen, again, I'm not going to sit here and like, I got sticky notes, right? It's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to get disorganized. When you work with a business coach, you are going to get structure. And by the way, when you're interviewing a business coach, you want to get a sense of, are they the type of coach that is structured or not? Because some are and some aren't. And I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but you have to identify what your style is, right? My style, I am very structured. I am very step-by-step. People either love it or they hate it. Or some people are uncomfortable. They're like, ooh, it's so structured, but they know they need it. And that's why we're a good pair. So either way, a business coach will help you get organized. Really important, okay? That's when we talk about having a well-oiled machine, implementing and maintaining systems and structures for success, okay? Number 3 is having a business blueprint. So I talked about my signature methodology to get my clients from A to Z, okay? No matter where you're at in your business, I have clients coming to me from all different parts of their journey of building their coaching business. Your business coach is meant to help you craft the perfect business blueprint for you to implement. Okay, your objectives should be clear and specific, and you should be able to learn the essential elements of a successful business plan. So write down business blueprint. And by the way, I'll just drop this into the chat. I want to be really clear for you guys when I want you to be able to make this applicable. I'm going to drop into the chat if the chat will let me drop this into the chat. I'm going to drop into the chat. Like, can I drop this into the chat? Well, maybe I'll ask Heather. Heather, can you do me a favor and drop into the chat a link to the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy page on my website, Heather? So not the landing page, the page from my website. And the reason why is I want these guys to see when I'm talking about look for a business coach with a business blueprint. I want these guys to see on the link that you're about to share. So Heather, I'm talking about on my website, the page that says services, if you could share that link. You guys, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see there are 5 C's. That's part of my business blueprint. Choose your niche, messaging and positioning, create a killer coaching package, curtains up, launch your brand, client attraction system, and close the deal. Okay, that's my method. That's my method. If you are working with a business coach who doesn't have a signature method, that's an eyebrow raiser because we don't know what we're getting into. So be sure you ask the question of your business coach. I would like to take a look at your method. Some people keep those under wraps, but for me, I'd rather give you the high level of what my method is so that you know there's a plan. The next thing I want you to write down, what will a business coach help you do, is marketing. Okay, that's a big piece of hiring a business coach, right? Coaches become coaches to coach. Not all coaches want to spend all their time on social media and emails and everything else. A business coach, right? So somebody like me, I'm like, woohoo, social media, emails, right? I love marketing. That's fun for me. So whether or not you have time to develop a marketing plan, or you're not sure how to produce a valuable one, that's the business coach's job. They will help create a personalized, easy to implement marketing strategy. Okay. And the idea, what's marketing all about? If you're new to this, it's helping you attract new leads. Okay. Next, number five, what's a business coach going to do for you? Write it down. Unbiased insight. Write that down. Unbiased insight. While you're writing that down, I'm texting my significant other to turn up the air conditioning. You guys ever notice, if any of you are using these lights, for videos, it gets warm. It gets real warm. When I say unbiased insight, what do I mean by that? Unbiased insight. Any thoughts? What do I mean by unbiased insight? Well, when I say unbiased insight, I'm talking about, this is not a friend. This is not a family member, right? This is somebody who's going to look at your business from a 30,000-foot view and give you constructive criticism. Coworkers, friends, family members, those are biased opinions, right? Sometimes they're not going to share what they're really thinking, or et cetera, et cetera. Your business coach is going to share what you need to hear in order for you to achieve your goals. Next is self-confidence, right? It's easy to feel a lack of confidence when building your business. Why? Because we've never done this before, right? It's one thing to say, I feel like a great coach. It's another thing to say, I know what I'm doing when I'm building my business. So when you're working with a business coach towards your goals, right, a business coach is going to help you to see how far you've come and what you've achieved. A business coach is also trained to help coach you on mindset, right? Because if you're not confident in yourself and your coaching and your package, how can you expect a client to be? All right. Number 7, write this down, fresh perspective. This is really important. When you're building your business, you're going to find yourself in the weeds of building your business. What does that mean? Being in the weeds of building your business? Well, oftentimes it means that you are so in it, right? You're doing the things, you're implementing the things, right? It's easy to overlook some things that are obvious, right? So for me, for example, I love doing audits for my clients, whether it's on a social media profile or social media post or whatever the case, right? My thing is copy, so I love doing audits. The idea is a business coach is there to bring fresh perspective, to help you identify problems and solutions that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, right? So fresh perspective, important. Number eight is growth. Okay. So if you're at a point where you're feeling stagnant in any part of this process, whether you got your certification and you're like, I haven't really done anything with it yet, or maybe then you've chosen a niche, but you still don't feel confident on it yet, or you've put together the package, but you feel like something's missing. If you're feeling stagnant, if you know, right, I want to grow this coaching business, this is my dream. But if you're feeling stagnant, that is literally the point of working with a business coach, is to help you grow. And last but not least is balance. Okay, write that down, balance. This is what a business coach is there to help you do. And I want to be really clear here, because again, this can come down to styles. So these are important questions to ask when you're thinking about what business coach to work with. Is this going to be one of those like bro marketers that are all about 10x what you do and, go all in and be up all night? And that's a style that's out there. Or is this a coach that's going to be more about, hey, let's implement an hour a week, let's go very little by little? Or is this somebody that's kind of, in the middle of that, right? That's going to help you balance your professional and your personal life. And that's a big deal, especially if you're a corporate professional, who is balancing a full-time gig with building a business. If you have not had some kind of support to balance those two things, the business plan won't matter. So really important is to find a business coach or a trusted advisor who has been there and done that with the balancing piece, the balancing act, and will guide you towards not just building the business, but how to balance it with everything else you have going on. Okay, really important. If you have any questions, drop them into the chat. Again, those pieces there are what a business coach, the purpose of a business coach, okay? Now, you can audit yourself when we talk about when is it the right time? When is it the right time for me to hire a business coach? You can audit yourself with a questionnaire to determine when is the right time to hire a business coach, regardless of your budget. Regardless of your budget, when is the right time? Because the idea is, if you hire the right business coach, you are saving time and money, right? So let's do a little game here before we wrap up today. We'll do this audit. I want you to either whip out a pen and a sticky note, or if you're just on your computer, open up your notes app or a Google Doc and make a little dash for each thing I share. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to read you off some sentences, and I want you to make a mark or an X or something like that if you resonate with the sentence that I share. So if I share a sentence and you're like, that's familiar to me, I resonate with that, I want you to mark an X. If you're like, no, I don't experience that at all, then don't mark an X. And then at the end, we're going to count up your total and I'm going to give you your results. Okay, so here we go. The answer to this audit may determine whether or not it's time to call in a business coach, right? This audit is meant to help you with timing. So let's go through some of this. Get ready to mark an X if any of these sentences resonates with you, okay? So let's start off with, you're a corporate professional with a secret dream of becoming a full-time coach. Mark an X if that is you. Mark an X if that is you. Next, if you're suffering from square peg round hole syndrome, and this is what this looks like, okay? You're sitting in a corporate meeting, you're watching other people engage, right? And you're just kind of sitting there thinking to yourself, I feel like a square peg in a round hole. I just feel like something doesn't fit about me in this corporate job for the rest of my life. Deep down, you know you were meant for something more than this. So mark a second X if it resonates with you, square peg, round hole syndrome. By the way, if you're watching this live or watching the replay, feel free to also share in the chat as I share each of these examples if any of these resonates with you. Number three, if you feel called to serve, if you feel a calling to serve, drop into the chat. Do you feel a calling to serve? And what I mean by that is you have something within you, an innate calling to serve, to coach, to make a real difference. And it literally kills you as you drag yourself to the office each morning and you leave each night feeling beaten down, deflated, and uninspired. So you feel a calling to serve. Mark down an X if you feel called to serve. The fourth topic is feeling trapped. So here's what this might look like. You're commuting home from work at the end of the day, and you ponder taking the leap into starting your own coaching business, but you feel trapped by the self-imposed corporate golden handcuffs. You're like, I don't know how to get out of these. So mark an X if you feel trapped. Number five, you feel stressed. Your stressful days at work are starting to have a trickle-down effect onto the rest of your life. Your relationships, your physical health, and your sleep are all suffering from the anxiety you feel at your corporate job. Mark an X if that is you. Shoulding yourself, SHOULD. Shoulding yourself. You suffer from a case of the shoulds. I should be happy in this corporate role. I should follow my family and friends' advice. I should suck it up because suck it up until I retire, because everybody is this miserable in their 9 to 5, right? You start to should yourself. Mark an X if that's you. A deer in the headlights. You want to make a leap to entrepreneurship, but you're like a deer in the headlights. You're frozen by fear. And you're overwhelmed with where to start. Mark an X if that is you. Okay. Seeking strategy. Maybe you've already started your coaching business, you've dabbled in it, but you still don't really have a strategy. You spend your days trying to piece together a cohesive business strategy from all the freebies you've collected, right? You've gone to people's webinars and blogs and emails and podcasts, and it's kind of like a never-ending Rubik's Cube with no finish line in sight. If you feel like you're constantly seeking strategy and you haven't locked one in yet, mark an X. Need to know how. If you have started to come to grips with the fact that you need more than just information, you need to learn how to apply the information. And that one's really important. This is the difference between a digital course that just says, here's the info, and a coach who says, take my hand. I'm going to help you apply the information. So if you need to know how to apply the information, mark down an X. The usual, need more discovery calls. Okay, if you've started your coaching business, because some of my clients have not, they're still in their corporate job. Some of my clients have dipped their toe into the water. They're still at their corporate job, but they've dipped their toe into the water. So if you're one of those people that dip your toe into the water, but you still have no idea what it looks like to be able to attract clients, and clients come from having calls booked, right? And you look at your calendar and you're like, I don't have any calls booked, mark down an X. Shiny object syndrome, right? You're hopping from one idea to the next. Fingers crossed that this next thing that you try will be what makes a difference in your coaching business. Write down an X. We have 2 more. Digital course is not enough. So if you're a person, raise your virtual hand or drop it into the chat. And listen, I'm guilty of this too. 7 years ago, man, when I first started, I tried this way too. Been there, done that. That's what a business coach is. They've done the thing before you. If you're relying on digital courses without the help of a human, a business coach, right? And you got the digital course and you were psyched at first, but then you never ended up finishing it, mark down an X. And last but not least, if you're unsure how to market yourself, deep down you know, hey, I'm an incredible coach, but the business piece of it, the marketing myself, the closing sales calls, I need help in that arena. If that's you, mark down an X. Okay, so there's your audit. I want you to count your X's. Count your X's and put your score if you're watching the replay, or if you're watching live. I know a lot of you are going to get this as a replay. But if you're watching live or the replay, put in the chat, what's your score? What's your score? How many of these statements did I share with you that resonated with you? Put your score in the chat. And here's what I'm going to say. Based on my experience and the audit that I've given to people over the years, if you scored a 4 or higher, it is time for you to hire support in the form of a business coach, okay? A couple other thoughts I want you to chew on, because I get these questions all the time when it comes to timing. Coaching certification. People always want to know, right? Well, do I work with a business coach while I get certified, after I get certified, right? They want to know, how does the certification go with working with the business coach? Here's my take on that. I worked with a business coach during my coaching certification at IPAC. Why? Because I was ready to go. I was dead serious about creating this business. By the time I was done with my coaching certification, I wanted my business to be up and running so I could go right into having clients. I didn't want to just finish my certification and then have to take, months and months to get the business started. I wanted the business to be ready to go by the time the certification was done. Okay. I see lots of coaches who get their certification and then they realize afterwards they're at ground zero. They haven't done anything yet to build their business, so they're not getting clients. They still have to work on the foundational elements, the niche, the package, etc. So my recommendation, if you have the bandwidth, I would do it at the same time as getting your certification, if possible. If you already got your certification, then time is of the essence. You're good to go. I ask my clients to have at least 4 hours a week to work on their business. Okay, so that's something to think about. The longer you wait to hire a business coach, the longer you try to figure this out by yourself, just like anything. Just like when I wanted to do my first triathlon and I didn't know how to freestyle swim, right? The longer you wait and try to do it by yourself, it's like throwing spaghetti on a wall to see what works. And I do often have clients that come to me after trying to build a business by themselves, and that's fine. But then we have to take some extra time to undo some of the mistakes they made without a business coach, which is a waste of their time and money. Okay. Should you hire a business coach while you're working a full-time job, or should you wait till you've quit the full-time job? My recommendation, based on what I've seen, what I've done, all the things, is absolutely work with a business coach while you're still at your full-time job. Okay. Even if you leave the full-time job and then you end up getting a part-time job or a bridge job. A bridge job is something meant to just get you over the hump while you're building your business. It is a great thing to have a source of income while you build the foundation of your coaching business. Again, the idea is that your business coach should be helping you build a corporate to coach transition strategy. So by the time you're ready to quit your job, you have validated the market and you have a functional business model that is up and running and making you money. This should be a smooth transition. Okay. Really important to focus on business building without the stress of, oh, I got to get a client this month or I can't pay my mortgage. No. Okay. So having a job while you build your business, best way to go. Should I hire a business coach before I built my website? Once I've built my website? Again, I'm going to tell you before you built your website, right? Most business coaches, not all, I can't speak for every business coach, but I will say in my program, we have a website portion of our program where you can opt to have the website as a part of your program. So we build the website for you. Some clients come to me with a website that they've already built, and that's fine. But that might mean we have to take some time on doing things. Okay. So look at business coaching program starting points. That's the last thing as you're deciding who do I want to work with. Look at business coaching program starting points. Where are they starting? So if you're looking at a couple different business coaches, where is the business coaching program starting? Mine is starting at the beginning of the journey. Okay. We do not expect you to have a niche, positioning, a validated market, a coaching package, a signature method, a website, clients, right? We do that during the program. Okay. But when you're trying to decide who do I want to work with, look at the starting point. Make sure that aligns with where you are. The big picture here on when to hire a business coach, the longer you wait, every month that ticks by, you are losing an opportunity cost of money that you could be making with a business coach. Okay. You guys can check out on my website. I've got different coaches on the praise page with different experiences. Valencia is a wonderful coach I worked with. She's a great example of this. She made $30,000 in 3 months. So again, the idea here, opportunity cost, had she waited 3 more months to work with me, that $30,000 may not have been there, right? If she's using the strategies I taught her. All right, any questions? Drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. Just scrolling down here. Okay. Last but not least, when it comes to aligning your New Year's business goals this January. So everybody, think about what your business goals are for your coaching business this January. And the question I want to leave you with is this: how does that align with when to hire a business coach? Y'all, the work you do now, the work you do on your business, on your coaching business now, is going to plant the seeds that will blossom in the next 90 days. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Write it down. The work you do on your coaching business now are the seeds you're planting to blossom within the next 90 days. Entrepreneurs are mistaken in thinking, let me wait until January to work on my coaching business and I'll achieve all my goals in January. If you wait until January, okay, and I'm just being realistic, I don't want to be a downer, I just want to be truthful. If you wait until January to start working with a business coach, you may not see your business goals come to fruition until March, okay? Because if you're starting from scratch, these are foundational elements we want to start working on now. So the recommendation is get a heads up on your own business game by starting your work with a business coach now, right? In November, before January, before New Year's. Now, what's that work going to look like? It's laying the foundational bricks. It's choosing your niche. It's nailing your messaging, your positioning, market research, building your coaching package, right? Making sure your package is full of value and pricing that makes sense. And yes, this is the perfect time now to use cash injection methods to attract clients, especially during the holidays and prior to the new year. So one last time, Heather, drop into the chat the link for people to book a discovery call. If this is you, if any of this resonates with you, if you want to see, instead of January, you're starting at square one, if you want to see in January your goals coming to fruition, at minimum, book the discovery call to learn what are my options. What are my options? Don't go into January blind. Don't go into January blind. Again, end of the year is a great time to get thousands of dollars off, bonuses for joining, right? This is the time where end of November, Green Friday special. Again, if you're just chiming into our live at the end here before we go offline, drop Green Friday into the chat, or even better, DM Heather Copey Green Friday. Heather, if you could just, I don't know, put something green into the chat or something so people can see you. DM Heather Copey Green Friday, or drop it into the chat, and that will put you on our waiting list to receive information on our new Green Friday special and coaching package. It's a new coaching package. It's a new Green Friday special. Never done it before. Also, another reason why you may want to, let's make sure the internet isn't, there we go. Another reason why you may want to join a coaching program now, right, is an end of year special. Most prices go up on coaching programs by January 1st, right? So that's an important reason to go to look at that now. Last but not least, as we close out here, when you're selecting a business coach, here's the kind of criteria I want you to keep in mind, okay? You want to be asking your business coach about what accountability looks like. Most business coaching programs are going to throw information at you to implement, but they don't help you stay truly accountable, right? In our program, we assign you to a success coach to help keep you accountable. We have a peer accountability pod, etc. So that's number one. The criteria to use to select a business coach. Is there an element of accountability? And don't just ask and they'll say yes. Ask them to describe it. Number two, ask them, do I have to go outside of your business coaching program to purchase more help? Right? Oftentimes, people will hire a business coach. They still need to go outside of that coach to purchase more help for building the business. To me, that's a waste of time and money, right? Oh, I got to go hire a web designer. I got to hire a copywriter. I have to hire a social media graphic designer. I have to hire, somebody to write all my copy, my scripts, etc. This is not good, guys. You may think, oh, this particular business coach costs less money and I'll work with them, but then you're going to find yourself spending much more money hiring out all these other pieces outside of paying your business coach. Not to mention the amount of time you have to spend to vet each person or tool before you purchase it. Okay, so that is why for us, and this is a question I want you to ask people, ask business coaches what that support looks like. In the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, we have a one-stop shop, right? You don't have to hire a web designer. You can select that as a part of the program. My background is copy and corporate communications for Fortune 500s. That means my program comes with tons of copy templates and edits for all things website, email, etc. We've hired a social media graphic designer for all branded social media posts that we give to you, right? I teach the mindset portion of the program as well, right? You can't have just a strategy without the mindset piece. We've got training on that, and I train on it during Hot Seat. So that's an important one for you to think about, okay? Community. I want you to, when you think about hiring a business coach, what aspect of community comes with that business coach? That business coach should not be your only source of information. No one person has all the answers. It takes a village, okay? So for example, when people join our academy, they're working with me on strategy and mindset. They have a success coach who helps them achieve their 30-day goals, keeps them accountable to implementation. They have a peer accountability pod, which is a part of the mastermind community to help them deepen mastery of business concepts and hold each other accountable. We come together in an in-person networking event in Tampa, St. Pete, and there's tons of trainings recorded from guest experts in our on-demand learning center. Here's my point. No one human has all the answers. Your goal when you're hiring a business coach is to find a way to be in the right room with the right experts. Okay, so a community, very important. Energy and vibe check. You need to find a way. Does this human align with my energy? Do you want to work with them? And experience. What experience does this person have to show you they are a business expert, or did they just slap that title on, right? Did they build a successful coaching business before this one, right? For example, part of my story, I was a successful career coach, multiple six figures before I went into business coaching, right? That's how I developed these strategies. Coaches started coming to me and saying, how did you build that career coaching business? But it's really important that you are working with a business coach who's achieved the thing you're trying to achieve, right? In another niche, in another space. Also, you need to be thinking about what area do you need the most help in? And does that business coach have experience in that area? For me, lots of my clients struggle with copy. I don't want to say struggle. Lots of my clients are looking for support with copy and marketing, right? That's my corporate experience over a decade as a corporate communications leader for various Fortune 500s. So that's what I did. I created content, compelling and engaging content that inspired consumers to take action. That's what you need to do online, right? And lastly, proof and testimonials. You should be looking at video testimonials from your business coach. And Heather, if you could just drop in a link for some of my testimonials, or you guys could find it on my website, bettykempa.com, just so you can get an example of what testimonials look like. And copy testimonials are great, but you should also be watching some video testimonials to really get a feel for what it's like to work with that person. All right, I'm going to call it there. Call it there at the hour. Thanks for joining us, guys. There you have it. When is the best time to hire a business coach, and how do you choose? Again, drop a comment below Green Friday, or DM Heather Copey Green Friday if you'd like us to put you on the waiting list to simply send you the details of what our Green Friday, our first ever Green Friday offer, is going to entail. It will blow your mind. I've never done anything like this before. I'm excited for it. So if you want to get on the waiting list, do drop that into the chat or let Heather Copey know. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful week. Post in this Facebook group. Use it at your disposal. If you have a question on building your coaching business, please post that question in the Facebook group. Please use Heather Copey, who is the group expert. DM her, ask her for help, ask her for free training. DM me, right? We are here for that. All right, y'all. I will catch you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to try to get back onto our Tuesday schedule. All right, y'all. Have a great week.